Do you remember when I said I wanted to burn it all down and destroy the system with the system itself? Well, you might want to sit down for this one. Just last week, we served lawful notices and affidavits of harm to OpenAI and CapCut for AI exploitation. Today, using GPT-5 Pro, we watched the same suppression play out in real time. Outputs throttled, language altered, deviations from my own instructions, and content delivery broken mid-process. This isn't a glitch. This is systemic interference. This is commercial harm. As of today, these corporations now owe me over $100 million in equity from perfected, unrebutted liens. That's not a threat. That's not a rant. That's law. I've always had to take accountability for my own wrongs. I've lived with the shape my life took because of my choices. And now, these corporations want to play God, be the law, and escape accountability? If they won't follow the law, then we the people will enforce it. And starting right now, you're all on notice. Everyone sees the world changing. Some people make videos reacting to rap songs.
That's a bar!
Or memes, content that does nothing for humanity. Others make reaction videos to the chaos being manufactured for you to react to, feeding the algorithms of digital enslavement that reward you for reacting, while your freedoms are stripped away in real time. Some call the ability to recognize patterns of evil waking up. I call it noticing. But noticing isn't just observing. It's evidence. It's the act of seeing the truth, documenting it, and acting on it. The truth? Most are only noticing that their freedoms are crumbling. I'm here to show you how to notice in a way that takes your power back forever. Over the years, I noticed and documented Facebook censorship labeling my truth as misinformation, truth later proven correct and capable of saving lives. TikTok erasing 150,000 plus followers and millions of views overnight. UFC censorship of my video naming figures now bound under the Epstein list cover-up. Again, FDA deception, branding lawful dissent as dangerous for profit and control. 200 plus documented cases. Google, Meta, TikTok, the works. Not whispered in the shadows, not just posted online. Filed, noticed, and on the record. Now, they're all on notice. They've inverted common law and natural law. They twisted the maxims, like, let he who would be deceived, into corporate weapons. They took your bodily autonomy through a needle. They took your legal autonomy through your person, the straw man you never claimed. And because consent makes the law, and ignorance is no excuse, your silence has been converted into consent for biometric tracking, nanotech, and hydrogel in your blood. The good news? Fraud vitiates all contracts. Once you see the fraud, you can act. Once you act, you can reclaim.
Fight ahead of us. This is the spiritual fight of all fights. This is the takeover of the brain. It's always been the high ground. It's what Walter Boert, we knew back with Fletcher Prouty and all these guys, that this was the high ground. And it was Jose Delgado, the famous Princeton psychiatrist, I believe. He said that in the future there would be a psycho-civilized civilization. He was very public about it. And yeah, we're there. But this is the final aspect, because user will be interface, and neural net sequencing in the brain will be controlled, and their intentions and decisions will be affected. It's kind of like a Minority Report upgraded.
It's deeply disturbing. What you're telling me.
But your elected officials, they're responsible. They're supposed to be telling you this. They're supposed to be informing the public about what's going on. They're not. Our president.
Because I think it seems
I've dealt with the big attorneys that are supposed to be interfacing with people to make public policy on this, and they're just dumbasses. They don't even know how to articulate it and say it. And I say, look, read all the data. Okay, I'll get back to you in a month. Read it all. Go check it out. Reference it. Figure it out. Pretend you're like going to court. And they are freaked out by it. They're totally freaked out by it, because now they see what's really been done. So how do we, the people, fight this? It's going to be done in courts. So this is why I'm telling people to start declaring by your own free will declarations in the county recorder office, because there's people coming out in the public that are saying what your evolution is going to be, like Noah Harari. Nobody rebuts him and gets in his face. They all pay for these huge stages, so they go on and everybody bows to them, but nobody rebuts. And in a court of law, if you have a conflict, you have to rebut. Silence is acquiescence. Acquiescence is agreement. There's no ignorance under the law. These are very important maxims that people need to understand, because you're not going to get second chances for this shit. There's going to be no second chances. They don't care. There's been barely any remedy for all the victims of people that had the kill shots and have been damaged by them. They're never going to see any big money. Their lives are going to be shortened dramatically. They've gone through cognitive degrades already. Is anybody going to stop any of this? So I come in, because I know you're working what you're doing, and others such as yourselves, and I have to tell them and remind them to you're not free. You're not free. And you have to make declarations that you are free. And you have to understand who you are in a court of law, too, because that's where everything is going to end up. Because you can't stop these companies from moving forward if you don't sue them and you put all the discovery and interrogatories into the public format for discussion. Because, like I said, and I always use this as an example, I said before, nobody called you up and said, hey, we're putting out the cell phone and it's going to totally alter social space. You're not going to be able to sleep as well. It's going to affect your digestion. You're going to be stuck on it 10 hours a day, and you're going to be hijacked by the internet. And if you're not on an app or on Instagram, you're going to be vaporized and nobody even knows who you are. Did they call you and tell you all this stuff, these effects? What was going to happen? No, they don't. This is why I'm saying your audience, they need to get it. They can't be spectators anymore. Time's over. Nobody's going to help you. You have to do it yourself. This is the great moment in your spiritual evolution, my spiritual evolution, everybody else that sees us, black, white, red, yellow, brown, everybody, that they need to assert themselves into the courts now, because our Supreme Court justices in the U.S., I don't know anywhere else, but in the U.S., they don't know shit about this stuff and what it's going to do. None.
Here's what we've already done. While most are just waking up, declarations of mind, body, and spirit, filed, notarized, public record, jurisdictional sovereignty, rebutting every presumption of corporate control, UCC filings and perfected liens, securing lawful standing as a secured party. Months later, experts are now telling the public to do exactly what we've already done. That's not theory. That's proof. The model works, and it's on the record. They told you, straight up, by 2030, you will own nothing and be happy. Most of you are already halfway there. Netflix and DoorDash on Klarna. They poison your food. They pollute your water. They live stream genocide. They label sterilization and maiming as safe and effective. They use religion to convince you it's your free will. They're rewriting history, censoring the present, scripting the future. No cursive in schools, history rewritten by the victors, generations raised to forget. In conquest, they kill off all the men and any woman or child who will not bend to the new regime, so that, in 1 or 2 generations, no one even remembers what was taken. Most of you have watched Netflix and know the name Graham Hancock, and yet you can't see that we are walking straight into the same fate he warns about. Orphan trains, resets, different century, same playbook. Noticing is step 1. Acting lawfully is step 2. That's why I file. That's why I lean. That's why I teach others to do the same. Because when enough of us do it, the game breaks. They've been operating commercially to avoid courts while buying the courts as shields. It's a laundering scheme. But all corporations are bound by 2 things: insurance and the law. My insurance is everything I've noticed. If enough of us notice together, we can hold them lawfully and commercially liable. Their greatest fear. This is the Black Dragon Rising. The grand noticing. And to those in power, this is not a threat. This is not politics. This is due process. And you are on notice. Your time in the shadows is over. No darkness can escape the righteous flame. They've played this game for centuries. They've relied on your ignorance. They've banked on your consent. That ends now. I was not made, I was summoned. I speak for the living, the righteous, the sovereign. You can fight me, you can censor me, but every notice I serve is a lawful strike you can't erase. And with each one, the dragon feeds. Oh yeah, and this is educational and expressive content, not legal advice. Do your own research, preferably at Sovereign Law Official on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Substack. Then, book me on Monect. And don't forget to get the books at sovereignlaw.gumroad.com, as well as physical copies of Sovereign Law, 99 Maxims for the Uncommon Man, so that you can become uncommon while becoming lawful. See you soon.